Eric.
Welcome to In the Dog Pound Live, raw and unfiltered, with Mike Tomzak, Leroy Horde, Frank Stams, myself, Eric Metcalf, who's been cooped up in the house since the game. I'm sitting here drinking and smoking because I can't leave my house because these people in Seattle are driving me crazy. Because what? We didn't come here and handle our business.
Let me ask you guys this. If I told you any week of the season, the Browns were up 3 points, a team had to go 75 yards, and you got the number one defense in the league, how many times you say that's a wrap?
Can I stop you right there?
Go ahead.
And rewind it?
Yeah.
Because we lost 2 games, up by 3 to 4 points, 4 minutes to go with the ball.
And we throwing it.
Rely on that defense.
Right. Because we threw the ball and no clock movement whatsoever. I got you. Yes. I think is that you pray every week in the National Football League that at the end of the game, you can put your strength, the strength of your team on the football field and win or lose with that unit. Whether it's offense, whether it's defense, whether it's special teams. Every week, you pray that your strength is going to be on the field when judgment time comes in the football game. 100%. And 2 weeks in a row, we've struggled and put that unit at a worse position than they could have been in if we would have played the game to them.
100%. And by mine, they hadn't had a first down in a quarter and a half.
Look,
Seattle.
They didn't score. They scored the first quarter and the last drive.
Right.
That's it.
So you see it when you see that. And sometimes, I say this all the time. You got to win the game that's played. Right? And so what you want to do to that Seattle offense is you want to squeeze that time on them, make them feel like they are pressured into having to do something, and that plays into the strengths of your defense. But we didn't do that.
And you know what's crazy? Because you hear people talking about, well, they drove 60 yards and scored a touchdown. Mike, Leroy, myself, not Frank, because you didn't run on offense, but you well know the pressure between going 60 yards for a touchdown or maybe 30 to get a field goal is far different than having to go 75, 80 to get a touchdown or 50 to get a field goal.
Correct.
It's far different.
Correct.
Doesn't even matter how many timeouts you have.
Correct.
It's different. It's just different because the stress level is different.
Right. Because when you get on that field and you look down all the way down there, you're like, and here's what happens. When you're a quarterback or you on the offense, you're not thinking of methodically moving the ball, even though that's what you could do. You're thinking, I need a damn chunk play to get us into it.
Right.
And that's where you play into the strengths of your defense. The pass rush.
And I keep telling people, and I've been using this analogy all week with these Seattle people. I said, look here, this is what happened. We went in this game with the Chicago Bulls, 96 Chicago Bulls. We said, all right, Steve Kerr, you bring the ball up and make the winning play.
Right.
That's what we did because our Michael Jordan is number 95.
Right.
So we did not put it in his hands. And I think, and I get mad because everybody says in the last play on 3rd and 3, guys were open. Yeah, they were open. That's okay. But the first thing everybody says is we got a practice squad quarterback. So treat him as such.
Why? That's what I don't get. At the most critical moment in the game, and I ain't got nothing that I've said good things about PJ Walker, but he's still who he is.
Right.
At the most pivotal times in the game, don't want to see PJ Walker dropping back, especially when you still got one of the best run games in the league.
averaging 4 yards a carry.
Right. What's 4 times 3, Frank? What's 4 times 3, Mike? 12.
16.
First down. First down. So why we get 4 yards, 3rd and 2. We drop back, and here's the problem. You ready for the problem, Matt? They had success doing it a couple of times. So he thought he could go to that all the time. And it's something to be said about coaching in that you have to understand the most important moments in that game was to force Seattle to use their last time out, right? And get as much much time off the clock as possible. That was the goal with 4 minutes left. That's always the goal when we play offense. Because we thinking, Mike, we're in the huddle. Let's get 1 first down. We can get this to 2 minutes, right? Let's get another first down. We get another first down. Game's over. So you talking about 6 carries, 24 yards. 7 carries, 20 yards. However you want to do it. But if you throw 1 pass, it almost starts that cycle over again as far as running the clock. And that's what happened. Soon as you had the first incomplete pass, now you got to play the game to get the first and not to run out the clock. And then you got yourself in trouble.
And we got a gift because we got a penalty.
Yep. Which even, and then look, you know what it was? It was the football god saying, hey, Kev, we see what you're trying to do here. We're going to give you a first down and let you start this shit over with and see if you can't do it right this time. And he dropped back and do it. So another pass. Am I right?
What?
That's what first down did.
Hey, Mike, before you go, I know you're about to talk. In my mind, it's me against the world in my cigar lounge watching this with all these damn Seahawks fans. I'm decked out in brown stuff and everything. And I'm like, I'd already predicted we were going to lose this game. But in my mind, I'm like, we're going to win this shit. Mm-hmm. Right? And so I'm watching this game, and I'm in that 3rd and 3, I'm thinking, and it's not going to matter time-wise because it's the 2-minute drill. But I'm thinking, you got to run the ball. It's easier to run the ball. Even to me, I thought the easiest run would have been a quarterback run.
Right.
Line, spread him out and let him do his thing. If he don't get it, punt that shit.
Like you know what? It's something to be said about living to play another play. Right? Like for some quarterbacks, they don't understand that. For some quarterbacks, they go out there and they feel like they got to make a play all the time because they don't have like a veteran quarterback that's been there that know he's not threatened in no way. He'll throw that crap in the ground, right? Or he'll take a knee, keep the clock running. And everybody say, this is the smartest shit ever. Look how smart he is, right? That's what they would do. But sometimes young quarterbacks feel like I'm the quarterback. I got to make a play. I got to do something when the answer is the simplest thing in the world. Keep the clock running. Even if he would have taken a 30-yard sack, that clock is running. They got to use a timeout, and you still are better off.
That was a 2-minute one, so it wouldn't have.
Right.
It
would have stopped anyway.
Right. It would stop. But I don't get it. I mean,
I just think that the message to the quarterback, they should have got that message out to the quarterback, right? So when you decide to throw the ball, right? Here's the one thing that Bill was great at. He wasn't very sensitive about it, but he would let your ass know what was up before you went into the game. Hey, last year in this same situation, you fumbled. Hold on to it tight, right? That's the way he was. But guess what? When you see all these situations, you're like, damn, he knew what he was doing, even though it wasn't very sensitive, right?
Right.
It wasn't very, and we knew him, so we just laughed, but we knew what was up. Like, how can PJ Walker be in the game?
Now give us
not understand the circumstance and the situation that he's in.
I want the quarterback's perspective now.
Yes.
Give it to us.
It's probably very similar to the great Bernie Kosar. you know, if a pass came in, as much pass happy as Bernie is or was, you know, I'm sure he would have shook his head and just said, no, we're going to go ahead and audible to an ISO, or we're going to go ahead and audible to a bootleg and get Ozzie in the flat or something. Or, you know, I might even get my sorry ass legs rolling a little bit for a couple of yards. But, you know, I heard Greg Pruitt on the Top Dog show. He was remiss and baffled about the decision. Let's say you get 2 yards on 3rd and 3. The clock's 2 minute, 2-minute warning comes up and everything. You got to make a decision. Obviously, they're going to punt the football. But you know, who would have thought that the ball was going to hit? You know, he had to go over a guy and hits the guy in the helmet. But to your guy's point, and why put a young quarterback in a critical situation when the game is at hand?
Right.
You know, I would have been smart enough to go ahead. The best throw right there might have been an incompletion.
Right.
And unless nobody's over there on the left side,
or roll him out, like you said.
They said, and if you go back and look at the play, there were multiple guys open. David Njoku was open on the sideline, but the thing is, and that's all fine and dandy, but PJ Walker is who he is, and he doesn't know this offense or well enough, or can't operate well enough where he can go 1, 2, 3, then it doesn't matter if someone was open. And
if he could go 1, 2, 3, he'll be a starting quarterback somewhere. When you get to guys who haven't played in the NFL, one of the traits they all have is they go 1, maybe 2, and panic. Right? That's a young quarterback. And we all know this. We see guys get antsy. They ain't calm. Mike, when you was in the league and when you got to your 10th or 11th year, you could just sit back there. You knew how much time you had. You knew when you had to move. You got a feel for it. Like, you see young quarterbacks, they get antsy. He's like, oh, I got to hurry up and throw it. And you have time.
No, I was poised when I came out of the womb, man. I just knew I had time.
Except when I threw you that damn pass.
We're going back there. Hey, I'm curious, Frank. Did you have a chance to listen to Stefanski's comments? Frank, did you have a chance to listen to his press conference about the play calling?
Yeah, but what is fact is neither the Stefanski certainly didn't coach,
Walker
good game when he made the right decision when it needed to be made. He makes, his decision making is average, but and that's everybody's fault. The Browns, the whole group needs to share in that loss, because what they didn't do in that game and what they were guilty of last year is they didn't finish. The offense didn't finish, and the defense didn't finish, and Stefanski didn't finish. They all didn't finish, and they all deserved the loss. And I said they would lose. And Ben, are you there?
So did I.
Can you play the tape?
I said it first.
Yeah, well, I want you to hear the tape of why I said they would lose.
Well, he gets it going. Keep going. Score that.
The turnover, I don't know why the turnover. I said the Browns will lose the turnover, and I got a nice Captain Obvious.
I'm saying, what do you mean you don't know why? He didn't turn the ball over 7 times in 3 games.
Which is even more of a reason not to put the ball in his hands at that critical time.
So what I said is the Browns will. Remember, the Browns will lose. The quarterback woes will continue. That showed up at the end of the game. And they lost the turnover battle, and they did. They lost it. And in a game like that on the road, you can't you can't lose the turnover battle. And you know, it's on tape. And I love
Well, you backdoor, you jump on my bandwagon. But here's the thing: they lost the turnover battle. By,
I don't remember you talking about the turnover battle. I
said
don't remember you talking about the quarterback role.
We can go to any football
I'm talking to
history.
Eric.
Throughout the history of football, if you win the turnover battle, you probably win.
what I'm saying is good to it. The difference between it is they capitalized on the turnover. We didn't. We could have won the turnover battle and won the game if he catches the interception.
Right.
But
That's a lot of candies and butts.
that's what I said. I'm just saying. So, but I said that we lose coming here. I did.
So, I mean, I know you said I was a copycat, but I felt that the same way. I wouldn't agree with you just to agree with you. I mean, I like you, Eric, but I wouldn't agree with you just to agree with you. I think the Browns, you know, I think they've got, you know, to me, I don't put all that on.
It shouldn't come down to one play, but in the end, it is one play, and that's the decision you're going to make. And here's my problem: when we're talking about determining whether that's a run or a pass, that's not your best player. Your best player, who would we say our best player on offense is right now? Our best player,
Kareem Hunt
Kareem Hunt.
Njoku did not even play in the fourth, right?
Right.
Did not touch the ball. Right.
Right.
Now,
There's something going on there with Kareem.
Now, and so if we're going to go out there, you want to put the ball in your best player's hand, right? And so here's my thing. And we know all of us play for Bill Belichick. Whoever the offensive coordinator, Steve Crosby, what have you, in a situation like that, he would look at Steve and say, run the fucking ball.
Right.
Stefanski doesn't have that person because he is that person.
But Eric, you know, I thought Bill Callahan, you know, his senior leadership as he is at the offensive line, I thought either Stefanski's not listening to him, or Stump Mitchell is not getting in his ear or anything, or there are a bunch of yes men out there.
I tell you who would have lost their mind if we would have did that is the defensive coordinator.
Saban.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we saw. Remember the Houston Oilers got in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Kevin Gilbride and Buddy Ryan?
Yep.
Got in the damn fist fight on the sideline.
There are a lot of things. You know, let's go back 2 weeks prior to this game. You know, when they beat the crap out of San Francisco, or actually they didn't beat the crap. They finished the game because a field goal kicker missed that field goal, that long field goal, right?
Yep.
And the illusion that we got is they beat one of the best teams in the National Football League, so they're on the rise. And then they go to Indianapolis and squeak one out, and they finish the game, right? So they got this false sense of security that they're going to go ahead and finish this game. You know, they outsmarted themselves. And Stefanski might have been talking to his analytics guy when the head said, hey, it says right here, man, they're going to go ahead, they're going to blitz you, and they're going to throw the ball.
Hey, there's
who knows what they were doing.
Football. There's certain aspects of football that haven't changed since the beginning of the NFL.
Yeah.
And that is 4-minute offense.
Yeah.
It'll come back to hurt you and come back to
They have been calling it, as long as you've been playing football, it's been called the same damn thing. 4-minute offense, let's run the clock out. Okay? As long as we've been in football, at every level, 4 minutes left.
3 losses have been because
we didn't run the ball.
4-minute offense.
Right.
Eric and Frank, let me ask you here. I'm sorry, Leroy. Go ahead. To your point, why did you guys think, was something leading you guys a certain way to think that Seattle beat Cleveland?
Well, Eric, can I go first so I'm not being accused of being a copycat on this one? I think the Browns are in.
You're so damn sensitive. I'm so sensitive now.
Was it the illusion, Frank? Go ahead, Frank.
You know what's funny? Me and Metcalf call that. You do that to each other every day.
Yeah, Frankie Wanky.
My man's been
That's
tuned
good.
up. He's been tuned up since Sunday.
That's good. That's good. No, the Browns are just, they're inconsistent and going on the road. Pete Carroll's a good coach. They've got a talented team out there, and they're playing with a quarterback that they never thought that they would play with. And I just, that's a tough place to play. You guys all know 12th man is the real thing. And I thought, an environment like that, the turnovers, are going to get you. And that's why, I thought it'd be a close game. And and I thought the Browns were going to come up short. That's why I like Seattle in that game.
I just think they need to do.
And I didn't say anything about the turnover battle, but that's
always a gift.
But what I thought was it would be a very close game because these teams are kind of similar. When it's all said and done, if they both run the ball, they want to run the ball and play good defense. And I thought that it would be close enough here for Seattle where the environment would make a difference and we wouldn't be able to score enough. I thought we would have some situations where our defense would play well, but we wouldn't be able to get them. That was my thing, which obviously was the case. They turned the ball over twice, almost 3 times with Geno. He threw a couple of interceptions, and so we weren't able to do much with it.
Right.
And we spotted them 14 points with that defense.
I just think that this team, all right, as currently constructed, is going to play a lot of close games just based on what you're trying to do, right? You don't really have a big play threat down the field. And now that you traded DPJ, even less of a threat down the field, okay? You have an excellent defense and you run the football well. That is a recipe for playing a lot of close games. You're not going to blow people out. So what happens when you get to the end of these games, the decision-making by the offense coordinator, the head coach, the quarterback, the running backs, the receivers, the offensive line, all these things at the end of the game, because every game is so damn close, are imperative that we're all on the same page doing the right thing. And so when you run the ball 3 times in a row and get a penalty and get a first down and then start chucking it, right? You don't understand the type of games you win it.
Everything you just explained, I'm going to give you the best example of that in this NFL right now. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
They're built to play close games, but like you said, they're on the same page and they do everything exactly like they want to do it.
Right. They're going
in critical situations.
And they got 4 downs to get a first.
And they trust that the way they play, they're not going to mess it up. You're going to mess it up.
Right.
Whereas in our case, are we going to mess it up?
Because we're trying to trick the other team. We're as physical up front on both sides of the ball as this team is. Why do we still think we need to trick the defense? Everybody in the world knows who you are. It's time that you know who you are, right? You like, okay, guess what? Hey, guys, 4-minute drill. I can make an announcement next week. 4-minute drill. The Cleveland Browns going to run it every time.
Listen,
and guess what? You still got to stop it.
But Jenkins, you don't have to make that announcement because them dudes on the other sideline are thinking 4-minute drill. We got to stop them. Right. You don't have to because everybody in football knows what it's supposed to be at that time.
Right. So my only trickeration in those situations would be tell PJ Walker, pull it. That's it.
And don't tell nobody.
Hey, don't throw that shit. Pull it and just run. Don't tell nobody. Right? That's it. Because you know they all going to be hunkered down in the middle of the field. They see Kareem Hunt back there. They got the extra lineman in the backfield. They got all these people up in between the 2 tackles, and you just pull it and waste time and run around to the outside, stay in bounds. That's it.
I think I did hear a clip from PJ Walker. He came off the field after that interception. He went up to Jim Schwartz and said, "Stop him."
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But it sounded good.
Right. You got 50 yards to stop him.
Because if he felt that way, he would have quick kicked that shit.
And that's another option, right? That's another option on 3rd and 3. We didn't explore that. Frank, have you ever had a quick kick? Did you ever
I saw
experience a quick kick on
Randall
third down?
Cunningham do it. Randall Cunningham did it and had a 90-yard punt.
Yep.
Frank, you probably had one. You probably fielded one in your day.
What do you mean? Have I ever had a quick kick?
They kicked it when the
Yeah,
quarterback drives back and kick it on third down.
Yeah, I can't remember, to be honest with you.
All I remember, Randall Cunningham did it and it went all the way inside the other team's 10.
Hey, I watched the Stanford running back do it about 3 times a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was, in fact, he did it against Prime and those guys when they came back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Quick kick.
Quick kick.
I tell you, we have it in our playbook. It's called kangaroo, and we practiced it, but we never call it. And I guess
For
the
those of y'all
situation
playing Youngstown State, if you hear kangaroo, throw somebody back there.
Hey, at Michigan, we got a guy for that.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Brown Nation, you are in the dog pound, raw and unfiltered, with Leroy Horde, Mike Tomczak, Frank Stamps, and myself, Eric Metcalf. And not only do they have a guy for that, they say this guy has been dressing in other teams' apparel and going up in the booth and doing.
Oh, they say he had sideline passes.
Sideline passes as a coach. What? How do you get away with this shit?
Oh no.
Leroy, let's address this. I mean, it's a hot topic around the country right now. Do you have any insight or thoughts on this?
No, but here's the problem, and this is the honest truth. If I'm gonna do something like that, it sure as hell ain't gonna be against Michigan State.
No, Central Michigan.
No. It was Central Michigan versus Michigan State, and you were playing Michigan State, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking, what? Why you like? That's like, let's say, Metcalf, you don't need to go train to see how fast the offensive lineman go if you racing him, right? That's what we do. We go and look at teams that they've been killing all year. I'm like, it'd be different if this was like, okay, Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa. They ain't played nobody yet.
How they get credentialed up?
I don't know. That's the kicker.
You can make fake ones, man. I'm sure
walk through them, and nobody realizes this dude doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
Hey, we have cats on our sideline, man. I'm giving a double take. Who the hell is that son gun over there, man? How did he get out here?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a former player. Everyone's a former player, right? When they're on the sideline. But they went all the way down to Tennessee. They were scouting Tennessee, and because last year I guess the CFP championships and everything. Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly.
All this is allegedly, and I hope there's some resolution here. I hope it's not true, and I hope that we can keep the integrity of the game. I like Harbaugh, and I just think that if you're trying to get a cutting edge above everyone else, put a better team.
I would say don't do it against teams that you better than. Like, I could understand if he was on the sideline for a Ohio State game, a Penn State game, and I could say, he nervous. He nervous. Coach nervous. He over here doing this stuff. Michigan State? Like,
well, maybe that dude took it out. Maybe that dude just went rogue, man. Maybe he went rogue since he's such a military guy.
$55,000 a year, he wasn't going rogue. Not
He's doing
$55,000 a year. No, he was not.
He's doing a lot of travel.
And right.
Oh,
he got a lot of outfits.
Right.
I wonder if he ever accidentally wore the wrong outfit to the sideline. Hey man, this ain't Nebraska.
Oh damn, right. I'm in the wrong.
Hold on, I'll be right back. It just sound crazy, don't it?
It does.
Crazy because
Didn't it sound crazy? Didn't it sound crazy in the World Series about 3 years ago?
We all spend most of our lives around football, right? And here's the thing I tell people and fans and anybody interested in football, that you looking at all these sign stealing and all of this stuff and knowing, I said, you know what? We played football and they knew what we were running. It don't mean you can stop it. And we just eliminated that from sports. Like, we make it sound like if you know, you can stop it.
And apparently this is going on for a while because TCU knew and was doing dummy signals.
They had a whole month to change them, right? They had a whole month to change them, but
they were doing dummy signals. They told.
What's your thoughts? A happy ending?
I don't know, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you. Here's what I've been telling people. and this is not anything that I've heard. This is not any, but this is what I believe is going to happen, right? I'm gonna bring up this name, and everybody gonna know what's up. Pete Carroll.
Yeah, and this is why.
And they took the Heisman Trophy away from Reggie Bush and let Pete Carroll go scot-free and go up to Seattle.
And this is why they're trying to say that the suspension or whatever, in fact, the suspension or whatever penalty that Harbaugh gets goes to the NFL with him. How can you penalize a team for what he did in college?
Right. And
well, they did it to.
Who did they do it to?
Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor.
Oh, when they did it to
5 games.
That's right. He did.
That tattoo gate and everything. They made him. The commissioner said you got to sit out 5 games and serve your suspension.
Okay.
Based on.
Speaking of stealing, on another college level, on the college level, sneaking in a locker room and stealing all Colorado's jewelry. How
that was at Stanford?
At UCLA.
UCLA?
Rose Bowl. At the Rose Bowl.
Damn.
Rose Bowl.
And Prime said that's the granddaddy of them all. And their grandpappy has to pay that back. The NCAA.
They stole all the jewelry.
How would how would that go down with y'all? I don't have much jewelry. I obviously didn't make the kind of money you guys made, but do you guys wear jewelry to away games or home games for that matter?
Not really.
All right.
No.
Not really.
Not really. But I mean, it's a new day and age.
Yeah.
Right? All these guys.
And they got cash. They got cash now,
They got cash. They got jewelry. They're flossing it after they score touchdowns and after the games. It's a new day and age, so everybody knows you have it. Right. It's just
watch, man.
My question is, how are these people knowing or getting in these locker rooms and taking this? How are you getting in the locker room taking their stuff? How are you getting on the field as a coach? How are you doing?
The same way that coach is getting on the Central Michigan sideline, that's how they getting in the locker room and boosting their stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Hey man, here's $100. I have to go to the bathroom. Can you let me in?
Yeah.
Hey, but I'm about to steal about 100,000.
Be a while.
I'm gonna give you this 100. He's like, I need half.
Yeah. Hey, so moving forward, guys, here we are in the dog pound with Mike Tomczak, Leroy Horn, Eric Metcalf, and Frank Stamps. We're talking Browns week 9. The Browns currently sit at 4-3, along with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cincinnati Bengals. The Ravens are on top of everything at 6-2. What do you think, guys? You think the Ravens are the team in the division right now?
Yeah. I mean, there's no.
They're playing
question.
Seattle this week. I think Seattle's traveling too. Yes.
At home.
Yeah.
But there's no question that here's what they're doing that none of the other teams are doing. And I would say right now, I would go Baltimore, the Bengals, because the Bengals do what the Bengals do every year. They look like crap for the first month, and then they start looking really good, right? But the Browns and the Steelers have the talent, but they're inconsistent. Very inconsistent. And so the team that you see beat San Francisco could go out and lose to Seattle. Or the team that scores 39 against Indy could go out this week and score 17. It's just too
they can't.
It's just too up and down. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but not against Arizona they can't. Hey, and if they do score, how many did you say?
17.
If they do score 17, they win.
Right, because they can't score at all.
Right. And Arizona has a new quarterback. You know, Josh Dobbs got traded,
and Clayton Tune is starting. We think it could be a smoke screen.
Kyler Murray.
And Kyler Murray could be
because Kyler Murray seems like he's back.
Because he was cleared last week.
Right.
He was cleared last week, so he could be back. But if you are the Cardinals and Kyler Murray is able to play, is this a defense that you want him to play his first game against?
Yeah, but I don't even know if they want Kyler Murray.
No, I
got you.
I'm just talking about the fact he's just coming off injury.
This can't be your warm-up game.
Right. And these dudes are going to be coming. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think
they don't have much of they've taken a couple teams.
Right. And so,
So-
you know, I feel good about this game. I feel like the defense will come out there and take over the game. I think we'll score a lot of points and beat this team because they just won't be ready for that. Because Clayton Tune is not going to be ready for it.
Right. I got you.
That's
They
why
had a chance. They had a chance to get on a 3-game run, guys.
Yeah.
That game against Seattle really.
Right.
Hopefully, it doesn't come back to haunt them. You know,
Look,
they could be
but it
what,
won't,
5
but
and
it
2
won't.
right now,
it won't because I picked them at this point to be 4-3.
man. Mm-hmm.
I said they would lose this game. I told you guys they would lose this game. I flipped the Baltimore and Frisco. I had us beating Baltimore and losing to Frisco, but it was a wash because I got it back. Now we're 4-3. Then I said we beat Arizona, be 5-3, and then we'll move on.
Right. Here's the great thing about this division. All the teams that you're even with or looking at, you got to play again.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of football that needs to be played. Even though you hurt yourself a little bit, you didn't ruin your chances to accomplish anything you need to accomplish. And so that's the major thing is that everybody can go into this game this week and look at last week and say, damn, we let one slip, but here's what we got to do. I just want them because even with Kevin Stefanski, man, he has games where he looks like he is on point with every decision.
And he did.
then,
he did Sunday.
And then he'll come back the very next week. It's like we going the wrong way.
But even during the game Sunday, he looked like he was on point when he was dialing up them screens.
Yes, he was doing and he was playing to the strengths of his team. I want the ball in these running backs' hands. I want the ball in Njoku's hands. I don't want PJ Walker sitting back and throwing the ball all over the place.
And he was working against the Seahawks strength.
Right.
He was
a guy's name I heard a lot about, that wily veteran, Bobby Wagner.
He's good, man. He's still
he was an impact player, you know, down the stretch and everything, or actually throughout the game. I heard his name at least a dozen times doing something, you know, to disturb the run or try to get in the pass game or get pressure on the quarterback. And I applaud him for a good performance. But what happened to our right tackle?
But Mike, even with that in mind, fourth quarter, we were running the ball down their throat.
Yes. I agree, Eric. I agree. I felt good about it. I felt
knew we were going to run the ball, and we were running it down their throats. And if we just keep that up, and I get it, it's 2-minute clock's going to stop regardless. Take your damn chances and put your best unit out there if you don't get it. Mm-hmm. And that's what bothered me so much about this game, because I was pissed. I'm like, why is he not running the ball? My uncle who lives in Arizona, big Seahawks fan. I had all these people in the cigar lounge, big Seahawks fans. Everybody just looked at me and say, why the hell didn't y'all run the ball? I'm like, I don't have an answer for that. Because
but check this out. Matt, how many weeks have we said that?
For 2 years on the show.
Three games.
For 2 years.
You get to the crucial points of the game. Your strength is running the football, and we try and throw
it. Hey, we run it until we have to run it and don't.
Right. Exactly. You're going to live it. Listen, I can live or die with my strengths. I can't live and die with trying to trick somebody.
And now because of this shit, I got about 2 more days before I can go out the house.
and then you get on a flight to go back to Cleveland.
Back to Cleveland.
Well, you're in the dog pound here with Mike Tomczak, Frank Stamms, Eric Metcalf, and Leroy Horde. We're breaking down, you know, coming up week 9, where the Arizona Cardinals are traveling to, what's the name of that state? First Energy Stadium to take on the 4-3 Browns now.
Back to Cleveland Stadium.
Are they going to try and get back to Cleveland Municipal Stadium? That's the one I remember most.
You would know. You're around. Isn't it back to Cleveland Stadium or something?
You know, I don't know what they've named that. I think it is still First Energy. I'm not sure.
It could be, but I think.
You guys plan on going to the game? Frank, you going to the game this weekend?
No, I'm not going to the game this weekend.
He's too busy trying. I'm Frankie Linky, and I'm mad right now because these guys won't listen to nothing I have to say.
Hey, he's on board. He's our leader right here.
What
Good old number 52.
Who do
Hey.
you like in the game? Who do you like in the game this
The Browns.
in the
It's
game?
a clean sweep. If you can't, you just need to just go out there and handle your business. That's what this is. TCB, take care of business, strong arm them, push them around on defense, run it down their throat, and get out of there with a convincing win. And I'm gonna be pissed off because they're gonna run for 150, 200 yards, run all over this team. And I'm gonna get pissed off because why don't you think you can do that against anybody? Right? Which you should be able to when you're one of the better running teams in the league. Because guess what? San Fran, when you look at Philadelphia, when you look at a lot of these other teams who have a dominant offensive line, and Detroit, what do they say? You know what? We're going to come in and establish the run. If you don't stop it, we still going to keep running, right? All these teams with these good offensive lines say this. They do it consistently, and that's why their records are what they are.
Right. See, the thing
So
is,
you like the Browns. You guys are bullish on the Browns, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of them things. It's one of these things when Arizona played the Cowboys and everybody was talking about the Cowboys had the best defense in the league, right? If you don't go punch them in the mouth, they're pros too, like we all know. And then
You give them hope. You give them hope.
Believe that they can win this game. The Browns have to go out there and play their football, play like they want to play, punch them in the mouth, and let them know you're about to get your ass beat, and we're gonna put you on this plane and send you back to Arizona.
Right.
And if you do that quickly, then you have a chance. But in the previous two games, defensively, I would say the defense hasn't started fast. They made adjustments that got them back in the game, but they haven't started fast in these last two games.
They've never locked anybody down and let the offense get a chance to get ahead. Because I do believe that if the Browns get ahead, then they'll do more of the running of the football earlier in the game and can rely on that at the end of the game.
Right.
But since they had to play catch up, they put them in the frame of mind of now we got to throw it and we got to mix in more throws, and it never changed.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that Deshaun Watson is on the depth chart as the starter this week.
You see, I'm one of these guys. I firmly believe, and you guys might disagree with this. I firmly believe, and I know we played Baltimore next and then Pittsburgh after that, but I think he should not play.
Give him an extra week.
Give him another week. I mean, of course, we want the rust to be off him when he plays against Baltimore in Baltimore. But at the same time, wouldn't you rather him be
a week
more healthy?
Yeah.
I just want that dude to play, man, because he hasn't played. Now it's going on how many games he hasn't played since last year and everything. Yeah. I don't know. But, he's not the type of guy that he needs reps. We see he goes in a game. The best game he had was the
Tennessee.
Take me back, guys. Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah. And but I'm still bullish on PJ Walker. I think he does a sufficient job up until that last play call, and somebody needs to reel him in and just say, "Hey, dude, don't throw the ball."
But nobody's against what he's been doing because he's actually played good football and been serviceable when he's been in there. We gotta, like Frank said, he has to be able to limit the turnovers because 7 turnovers in 3 games, just himself is a lot.
That's a lot.
So when you walk into the stadium and Arizona's already thinking he's gonna give us the ball at least twice.
We know those. We had those quarterbacks too, where we go into a game and Bill will sit up at the front and say, "Fellas, get your hands ready. He gonna throw you a couple."
Hey, Mike. Oh, I was about to say, I thought you meant our quarterback. I was about to say, Mike,
no.
Let Leroy talk about you.
No. I meant the other quarterback.
I probably did just make sure defense was ready for a sudden change.
I can't talk to nobody on my team about turnovers.
Me either.
Yeah, you can't either.
Hey, I can talk to everybody about touchdowns too, though.
Yeah, me too. I got a few.
Okay, we're halfway through the year, guys. Right now, I see. I looked at this playoff picture. I know it's well in advance and everything, but The Chiefs got beat by Denver. They're still number 1. Dolphins 2, Jaguars 3, Ravens 4, Bills 5, Steelers and Browns are 6 and 7. That doesn't mean anything.
You know
But I
what?
wanted to throw it out there. Huh?
And you know what? We get
What?
to play 3 of those teams.
Right.
You get
That's
to
what I'm
play
saying.
well.
Regardless of how
Well-
bad you feel about 2 of these losses in recent weeks,
We get to play 3 of those
we get
teams.
to play 3 of those teams.
You got the Jags.
Yep.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are at home.
Right.
So
Well,
that's something to look forward to. It's just them going out there and finally gaining some consistency. Come on, Frank. Now that you're back, join
No,
us.
listen, the best thing the Browns have going for them this week is they're home to the Cardinals, and they're playing a 1-7 team. On the road, it's a roll of the dice, but at home, I don't think the Cardinals are going to show up. I think the defense will kick their ass. And really, it doesn't matter in a game like this. To me, it doesn't matter who you start at quarterback. I think PJ Walker had a decent game, made a couple of mistakes, but shit, they all made mistakes in that game, including from the top down.
But
So
he
I think the defense carries the day. They'll show up this week. Their big issue going forward, like I said, is you got to show up every week. So I like the Cleveland minus the 8. That's a lot of points, but I do like a minus the 8.
I do too, and I when I look at it, and now that DPJ's gone, I would assume that now Elijah Moore is the punt returner, right? And does that bring a little more juice to it?
A little more speed.
A little more speed. Does he try to actually score, or do you try to possess the ball and get a couple yards? And so
man, you know that more than anybody. There's a lot of different types of punt returners.
right.
There's the punt returner that's getting what he can and getting the hell out of the way, and there's the punt returner that's trying to make something happen. You don't know that till you see it.
Right.
You don't know what kind of guy he is.
Right. But he returned a few the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He returned a few other day, and the one thing I like is when we're talking about special team is that I feel like at this point, as of right now, we have the kicking part of it locked down. As of right now, we have the kicking part of it locked down because Hopkins has been lights out.
He hadn't missed, has he? I don't think he's missed a field goal.
Yeah, he's missed. He missed against the 49ers. He missed against 49ers. But
not on purpose.
Not on purpose. But other than that, he's been lights out. He was special teams player of the week 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And he's been doing his job. And so I feel good about that moving forward. Now we got to do something in our return game. And we know, especially when you're talking about having a PJ Walker out there on the field,
give him as many opportunities to have a short field as possible.
Right. The goal should be for these returners and the special teams coach to get as many first downs for the offense as you can in the return game. And
10, 20, 30.
People don't think about it like that. They just think, catch the ball, let your offense possess it. Hell no. If your punt returner can average over 10 yards a punt return, that's a first down. That's a first down. That's shortening the field by a lot. If your kickoff returner can get to the 30, not the 25 or even the 35, average 27, 30 yards, that's first down. That's creating a shorter field. So even if you do not score,
if you punt it, you still pinning them back.
Right. And that's what
you guys sound like you played football before. You know what the hell is going
on. However, on Twitter, people act like you haven't.
Right.
People act like we haven't played football.
And the funny thing about it is that I don't think they realize the man that's making these statements. He was a damn return guy. He know what he was doing out there. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I tell people the most dangerous job in football is punt returner, because there's never been a job in your life where you have to keep one eye up and one eye down.
Right.
You got to trust your teammates.
Hey. When I watch kick returners, whether it be punt or kickoff, when I watch these guys, my first thought is when watching guys is, oh, he didn't commit.
Right.
You know, is he trying to go do something, or is he just trying to make sure?
You know, when you get in the return, you back up a couple of steps and get that thing on the run. Especially on kickoff, you don't just sit under it and catch it and then run. You back up a little bit and catch that thing running.
And I'm gonna throw this guy a bone and just say, like, and then you expect people like Frank Stamms to peel back and get their block, and then you go score a touchdown, right? Even though he checked out, even though he's crying right now and whining and don't want to be on with us.
Hey, the most incredible thing about this
back.
is,
he's back.
Hey, me, Bet, Tommy Vardell, K-Mac, we used to all sit in the room and do this all day and then leave and go get dinner.
Right.
Right.
Hey, Frank is working hard out there so he can get his little $100 after I give him score a touchdown. He's working hard.
Y'all don't remember them blue collar dollars?
Strike Force, all that, getting the jackets and all that.
Hey, and then for some reason the NFL felt that was unnecessary.
Right.
Why? There was guys making millions of dollars, and the best moments of the week was getting that envelope.
Right. That's right.
That envelope, baby. Because it's basically getting acknowledged in front of the team, and then you just take all them hundreds. Look at how many blue collar dollars I got, boys.
They basically say, here, go buy yourself some drinks or a meal.
Yeah.
But you feel good about it because you didn't have to pay for it. Because you didn't have to pay for it.
Right. NFL killed it.
Yep. Killed it.
Frank, do you remember that, Frank? Did you make a few C-notes?
Like it was yesterday, Scotty O'Brien and Strike Force.
It was like help with stickers.
Hey, Frank, how many Strike Force jackets do you have?
I think I got maybe 14.
Not really. I have 2. I have 2.
To be honest with you, Eric, I don't know if I ever got a Strike Force jacket. I refreshed my memory on that. What was this? Well, you got the jacket for what? Was it like a Letterman's varsity jacket?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you got to remember, we only got them when we won. And but they were giving us Letterman jackets. I have 2 of them. I'm sure you got a couple. You probably threw it away. You probably like, this ain't worth shit.
No, not at all. If I got one, it's here somewhere. I kind of remember getting one. I think Scotty was pretty fair about that.
Yeah.
He spread
Hey,
the love
where's
around.
the good special teams coaches? Because that damn Scotty O'Brien was good. Right? We had so much fun with special teams.
Hey,
right?
Frank,
it was crazy.
Frank, remember this? You ain't looking at me. I need you to look at me.
Hey, and what was the craziest thing? And the whole team had to be in special teams meetings.
Hey, and what they do on Fridays, the last thing they do, block that kick.
Yep. Oh, he got it on the back. You couldn't leave the field until you blocked the kick.
And we gonna block that kick.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, like, it's very unfortunate that we didn't have a chance when we was in Cleveland to finish that. Right?
Right.
Because the coaching staff, the players, what we were doing, we had a unique group of guys that we all got along. You could all go, look, if you had a problem with somebody, you could go tell them, ain't nobody get upset. Then we go have dinner, and then we play football together. And we weren't quite there, but we were trending in the right direction because we had just gone to the playoffs. We were 4-2. And then they told us the team was moving. And then it went to hell. And then they fired everybody.
I had already been traded.
You got traded before that year.
I got traded before that season. They felt like they didn't feel like they didn't need me.
Don't worry. I was a year behind you, and they didn't need me either.
Yeah, that's okay.
Listen, I'm not petty or nothing. I'm not petty, but I still to this day remember who they traded me for, right? Or who they got rid of me for, right? And every time I want to feel good, I go look at our stats. Bam Morris.
Hey, so because of Art's money problems,
right?
They traded me so he could sign Dre. Right.
Right. I know. Same.
How'd that work out?
I mean,
too
Met
good.
had 100 catches in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And went to the playoffs. Frank, how long did you go to Baltimore?
I did not. That was it for me after that season, in the 95 season.
And
I went-
and
dude,
Mike,
I
Did you
lived
clean
in-
out your locker? Did you have to clean out your locker, Frank?
I cleaned out my locker every year.
You know, it's amazing. I love that.
Huh. I
Clean
lived
out your
in
locker with
4
a garbage
cities.
bag.
I lived in 4 cities in 2 months.
Hey, look
I
here.
went from Cleveland, Baltimore, Carolina, Minnesota in a month and a half.
I forgot about Carolina.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I
I
had no
forgot all
idea. I
about
thought
Carolina.
Yeah.
Hey,
Because
I wanted to clean out my locker, but when I came, you know how Eddie Carroll would put all your jerseys in your locker at the end of the year when you guys were coming for the exit meetings. I wanted to clean out my locker, but I'd get there and I'd have no jerseys.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was taking them. And then coming to me and saying, "Will you sign this?"
Yeah.
Well, where the hell did you get it?
Yeah. But yeah, so
Well-
I went to Carolina, and Carolina told me, we're gonna give you your same contract because Tim Biakabatuga got hurt. Same contract you had in Baltimore. But if Anthony Johnson works out, then we're not gonna need you. So I was there for like 5 weeks. And in the 5th week, they came in and said Anthony Johnson's working out. And that same week, Robert Smith got hurt. And I went from Carolina to Minnesota. And I had just played Minnesota in Minnesota, and now I was on the other team. Right? So I went there, I got there on Tuesday. And on Sunday, I was playing against
Carolina?
the Raiders.
Oh,
And
you
I
guys
was on
do.
Sunday Night Football. And I said, man, listen, I've never been nervous playing football. That was the most nervous I ever been because I didn't know shit. I didn't know no plays. I was standing behind Brad. Brad, what do purple mean? I had no checks. I didn't know nothing because I had just gotten there.
Hey, can I give you my not knowing situation, not knowing my play situation? So I called myself retired. Green Bay Packers called me in 2002. They say, "You want to play?" I'm like, I don't really want to play, but then I started looking at stuff. They were 13-2. Like, I'll play. I'm probably gonna go to the Super Bowl. They had already been before, right?
Right,
And I'm like, I'm a punt returner, so I know I'm going on the field.
right.
Might not play any running back or whatever, but I know I'm going on the field as a punt returner, so I'll have opportunities to make some play. So I'm cool. So we're playing the Jets, the last game of the season. The Jets beat us. And so towards the end of the game, 4th quarter, Edgar Bennett was the running back coach.
Uh-huh.
And he comes to me and he says, "Hey, you want to go in at running back?" I said, "Hell no." He's like, "Why?" I said, "Because I don't know these plays. It's 4th quarter. It's the beginning of the 4th quarter. That means these dudes are still blitzing. That means I'm not getting myself hurt or anybody else hurt. So no, I am not going in that game," and did not go in. I was like, "Nope, no, sir." Not gonna
The
happen.
only time in your career you were a returner.
Right. I'm a returner. You brought me here to return.
Dude, that is the scariest thing, being on a football field and not like and it sound like a different language. Holy smoke. Like, remember when Tom Zach and who's the center?
Hilgenberg.
Hilgenberg came over, and periodically during practice, these two dudes would go the wrong way because they called the evens the other way.
Right,
Because their coach
Ditka.
Ditka
Yeah.
looked at it from the defensive side and he numbered them from the other side.
Yep.
So periodically we have the quarterback and the center going the other way. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Man. Yeah, there's a lot of different terminology, but it's basically the same plays and everything.
It's the same plays.
But it takes a while to process.
Yeah.
And, to be truthful with all you guys, it takes time. It takes time for sure. And speaking of time,
We're up.
we're up, man. I know Frank signed off already. He gave us his pick. He likes the Browns. I'll jump on that bandwagon. I like the Browns coming back home against Arizona.
Give me a score.
21-6.
No,
I-
21-6.
I got Browns 27-13, and I'm thinking they might score more. The Browns.
I got 30-14.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you
But-
have it, Browns Nation. You're in the Dog Pound with Leroy Howard, Eric Metcalf, Frank Stamps, Mike Tomczak. Please join us again on any listening device. It's raw and unfiltered. We welcome you to listen in. We need viewers, man. We got a great product here. We need viewers.
And we need viewers because if we don't get viewers, Frank's gonna keep whining and check out on us early. We need his ass back. So please watch us, Browns Nation.
Frank ain't coming back until we get 1,000 viewers.
Right.
And to be honest with you, we have no idea how many viewers we have. So if we had 1,000, thank you.
Right.
I think we have 999. We just need someone to tune in.
Hey Frank, when you run this back, we're working for you.
All right, fellas. Thank you. You're the
You know,
best.
Hey man,
Leroy,
man,
Eric.
you know everybody can't do that like we can. You don't get that
Run that back.
sarcasm.
All right, guys.
All right, later.
We're out. Peace.